Rwanda is located in East Africa with the Democratic Republic of Congo to its west and Tanzania to its east. The country's total land area is 26,338 square kilometers. In comparison, it is slightly smaller than the U.S. state of Maryland and it is the most densely populated country in Africa. The country's climate is temperature with the two rainy seasons, February through April and September through November. Of the total land area, 46% is utilized for cultivated crops, and while another 10% supports permanent crops such as fruit and nut-bearing trees. Among the environmental issues facing Rwanda are overgrazing, deforestation, soil nutrient depletion, and soil erosion. The country is home to nearly 10.8 million people, with 90% of its workforce engaged in agriculture. Rwanda's agriculture sector represents more than 42% of GDP, with primary export of coffee and tea. Other agriculture products include maize, wheat, rice, bananas, beans, sorghum, and potatoes. In order to boost the agriculture productivity, the Rwandan government distributed fertilizers to farmers at no charge due to the emergency country faced in the aftermath of civil war. It is in this regard that the government enlisted IFDC's assistance to support the private sector's involvement in agro-input industry. Francois from Minagri said that from 2007, the government started a program aiming to boost the agriculture in quality and in quantity. The collaboration between the Rwandan government and IFDC was implemented by the RADD project. The RADD project began its activities in June 2010 and will end in May 2013. It is active in all 30 districts of Rwanda. The RADD project coordinator, Mr. Safari John Bosco, explained that RADD is Rwanda Agro-Dealer Development Project and has a goal of strengthening capacity of agro-dealers in Rwanda to build a well-organized and trained network for distribution of agro-inputs. It's funded by AGRA and implemented by IFDC. One of the key roles of the RADD project was the human capital development. Through that aspect, the RADD project provided, among others, training of 1,062 agri-dealers and 254 agri-dealers agents has been conducted throughout the country on product, technical knowledge, business management, and an introduction on output marketing. All agri-dealers trained have received the temporary license from Ministry of Agriculture, allowing them to sell agro-inputs in Rwanda. During these trainings, 865 agri-dealers among the above have been trained in collaboration with COMESA Program, COMRAP, COMESA Regional Agro-Inputs Program. 31 agri-dealers cooperatives have been created at the district level and 5 unions with purpose to build a one national agri-dealers federation. Among 31 cooperatives, 17 have legal status issued by RCA as Rwanda Cooperative Agency, and 5 provincial unions have been created. 13 trainers trained on output marketing, 32 inspectors from Ministry Agriculture and private trained to conduct agri-dealers accreditation. 1,156 agri-dealers surveyed during the accreditation survey. Study tour with 5 Rwandan agro-inputs large suppliers organized in July 2012 in collaboration of Minagri and RADD project for traders to understand business in East African community and the operation on ports of Mombasa and Dar es Salaam. 4 national business meetings have been organized talking on business between importers and retailers, legislation of agro-inputs business in Rwanda, business between local importers and regional large input suppliers, and agro-inputs business financing in Rwanda respectively. The project organizes meetings with agro-inputs importers. Mr. Raphael Rurango from Ministry of Agriculture said this meeting aimed to gather all the agro-input importers from across the country, The discussion was about importing at good prices, learning from other experiences on quality and diversity of product. Another major role played by the RADD project was the technology transfer. Thanks to the project, 10 mini exhibitions have been organized throughout the country in the collaboration with 7 agro-inputs importers for developing the business linkage between importers, wholesalers, and retailers. And 865 agro-dealers who attended the training have had the opportunity to meet the exhibitors and exchange contacts. One study tour has been organized in Kenya with 6 agro-dealers from 4 provinces and Kigali City for sharing experience with AGMAC EADN trained agro-dealers, visiting agro-dealers demo plots, visiting input companies like MEA Limited, Kenya Seed Company Limited, and sharing experience with KNADA as Kenya National Agro-Dealers Association. 446 demonstration plots established by agro-dealers throughout the country, 382 demonstration plots geo-referenced for developing their map. 1,338 farmer field days have been organized in collaboration with contracted local organizations. 23,392 farmers attended the farmer field days for improving access to finance. 354 agro-dealers trained in entrepreneurship and business plan development in 15 districts under the contract with PSF and its BDS consults. 18 banks risk managers trained on agriculture and agro-inputs risk management and agriculture inputs technical knowledge. About 10% of trained agro-dealers received loan from banks of an amount of 180 million under RADD and banks partnership. The collaboration between the project and the government was established for the top level of the local administration. Deogracius Nzamwita, the mayor of Gakenke, says, when you see the increase of the productivity, it's because we work hand in hand with agro-dealers. Our collaboration aims to work out what we need in terms of agro-input and how we can buy it. The IFDC's country representative, Mr. John Vikamp, thinks that the RADD project was a good idea and has a massive impact on boosting Rwanda agriculture. Let's hear from him.
Every time we work with farmers in the field through our projects, we teach them how to work the soil, how to use fertilizer, how to use inputs, and every time again they say, well, that's all fine, but what we need is access to the inputs, access to credit, access to information, access to markets. And that's why we think that the RADD project is such a key project, because that's providing this access. And it has to be everywhere. Having it in Kigali is great, but farmers live in the countryside, live all across the country. So having 1,060 accredited agro-dealers in the country will really help the farmers move forward. And I think it's really been a good investment. If you look at what the project costs, and what we achieve, an investment of less than $1,000 an agro-dealer, get them trained, accredited, learn them how to have a business plan. I think it's a very good investment which will have a big impact in the country.
The coordinator of the RADD project, Mr. Safari John Bosco, in his conclusion, he said that the agro-dealer helped farmers to get agro-input in order for them to increase their productivity. As a result, this will change farmers' lives, send their children to school, be able to pay their health insurance. The RADD project has been a massive success not only for the farmers and agro-dealers who directly benefited from it, but for the whole country by boosting its agriculture, productivity, and consequently, the project boosted the national economy.